So what I'm not going to do is compare the two of you. Because last year, you and I were not speaking at all. Mia, I feel like, is a friend of mine.
Public. Her girls were sneaking with boys in the back of the house.
Yeah.
But do you ever, like, have...
The way how I'm feeling today, I'll fold a bitch fingers back. Please don't try it today. Please.
What's up, y'all? It's Brian Keith, and I'm back with another video. And today, we're going to be talking about the Real Housewives of Potomac. And I did not call it. It's the same old shit on the same different day of the same old year. Like, Wendy, you over here acting shocked, and I'm more disappointed in you, Wendy, because you want to over here just... Well, what's the difference, Giselle? What's the difference? You're holding me to a different step. Girl, where have you been?
The line is always moving. Okay.
What are we talking about? Where have you been? And everybody's like, Giselle, talk about Mia. I can't believe Mia over here would do something like that. And Ashley's like, you would think that Mia would just apologize. Where have y'all been for the last couple seasons? Oh, I forgot. Y'all hated Candace. Right. But y'all like, comment, subscribe. Let's get into the video.
Yeah, let me check my shit real quick. Hotter than the fire coming out my flaming lips. You wanna play with me? You can't play in me. On the playground, bitch, you can't play with me. Got it, want it, securing the bag.
The episode starts back where it left off with Jacqueline over here interrupting Karen's event, and Karen gets up to talk about she needs to get off my property. Get her off now. I'm calling the police.
And I brought 8 balloons. The weight of the 8 citations, obviously.
So Karen's doing all of that. Mind you, in the back of my head, I'm just looking at Karen like, girl, we just saw them videos of you over here crashing out, literally and pun intended. You crashing out on the popo. You're not calling no police. I know you're not, Karen. And she does this lame ass, I have 8 balloons for 8 charges. Talking about it's like a olive branch. And I'm looking at Jacqueline like, one, you're lame as hell. And then it's just like, you say it's an olive branch. You knew you came there to over here try to gag Karen. And then Mia, when they asked you, did you give her the location? You're like, I did not give her the location. I did not. How else would either Jacqueline got your phone tapped, she'll just find your location, and or you gave her the location. I think it's the second one, because I feel like Jacqueline has your location. She's tracking it. She looks at it on the phone and she's just like, oh my God, Mia, she's close to me. Like, she goes crazy over you. Right.
Whose friend is that?
That's Mia's friend.
Oh, yeah, okay.
We want to release them into the atmosphere so they can go away.
So, it's just one of those things I'm just like, girl, what are we doing? But we already know that all the girls are getting ready for, Panama City. They're going to Panama. And all the girls are super excited about going to Panama. And Wendy's hosting the trip, so cool for that.
Let's go, ladies. The architecture. And when we...
They get to the airport, they find the airport like the normal shit. There's been a conversation about Kiana. I brought this up last episode. That I feel like Jazzy should have been, full flute holder. Other than Kiana. It is what it is. I still like Kiana's personality. I feel like if Kiana wants to stay in this space that she is in, I feel like she needs to be more like a Cynthia Bailey. Tell us more about your personal life. Tell us about your job. Show us the events at your job. Like, I feel like she should go that route if she doesn't want to be messy like how Bob wearing Mia would be. Oh, we basically see all the girls in Panama. They're over here on the Sprinter. Wendy let all the girls know, like, look, we're all gonna have rooms. You're gonna be 3 villas. We're all gonna have our own rooms. Now everybody's like, oh my God, I can't believe this is so nice. Yes, we're gonna have our own room. Whoop, 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 whoop. So then I look at Salt Lake City. And the girls getting mad about rooms, but everybody got their own room. But Bronwyn, y'all, let me stop, because I want to save Salt Lake City because I know it's not coming back this week because of Christmas. I'm trying to save Salt Lake City for like when I know people will be at home, we're gonna watch, because we're gonna get into the mess. Because Bronwyn, I think I might be on your ass just a little bit. And Lisa and Angie, Bronwyn, Lisa, Angie, I'm gonna be on your ass. Just saying. And Brittany, girl, Brittany is a definition of
my man, girl.
How do you hoes act like if you ain't in no relationship, you gon' die? Y'all be weak in the knees. Stand up.
Get that grip. So, like I said, all the girls get there. We see Wendy basically tell all the girls, like, you know what? This is going to be so fun. We're in Panama, but the drive is going to be 2 hours from the airport. It's going to be so great. I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. How long?
Airport to the resort is 2 hours. A scenic ride. 2 hours though.
You know how sick I'd be to fly have to sit in a stationary craft in the air, and then have to go into a car for 2 hours. All I'll be thinking about is if everybody crash out on this trip, now we gotta drive 2 hours back to the airport at the end of the trip in silence. So we hear Ashley talk about her and Josh. She's like, this is the first guy that I really cared about since Michael. Didn't she date that guy from Summer House, Luke? Anyway. Yeah, you know, he stayed over here at my house. He picked me up. They were like, oh, what did y'all do? You know what they did. She grown. He grown. Put 2 and 2 together. So to get to the house, Wendy basically paired all the girls up in their room.
It was sexy.
Okay.
Y'all share a villa.
Giselle, I think you won here.
Yes.
I don't feel like a winner, but I'm just.
Nobody had really issues about it. It was what it was. We already know that Jacqueline's going to be with Mia, obviously. So, you know, they have this dinner. And Karen and Giselle are questioning Jacqueline's motives.
The 8 hearts symbolize 8 citations.
The whole premise of me coming there was to let her know how much I want to basically extend the olive branch to her.
And Jacqueline just being like, it was an olive branch. It was pure fun. That's all it was. It was just pure fun. I just wanted to have an olive branch with her. It was what it was. My whole thing with Jacqueline is like, we already know she's full of shit. Right. But then Karen says, she's like, you know what? I'm just letting you know, Jacqueline, that I did file charges. She said, I'm pursuing charges for trespassing on my property. Everybody's like, charges, girl? What in the world? And I wrote something on Instagram. I'm just like, Karen, you know, everything is cute. But instead of focusing on other charges, maybe focus on the 6 charges that you have pending now.
I take my security of my family very seriously, and I have begun the process of pressing charges against you.
I just felt like
This didn't age well for Karen.
Giselle get on Mia. And Giselle let her know, like, Mia, you know, I really care for you. I feel like we have a friendship, but you brought up my children. And you don't bring up my children.
Oh, Mia, it seems like you're kind of like lashing out a bit. We don't bring up children. We don't talk about each other's children. And you brought up mine.
Mia's like, you brought up my children. And that's why I brought up your children. No, Mia, nobody brought up your children. They asked, why in the fuck do you have Gordon and Ink after you just told us that Gordon did all this stuff to you at the GNA event where Ashley was over here singing and hurting everybody's ears. But now you want to try to flip it like, well, you brought up this, and you know,
it was Father's Day, and any father that is in an acting role as a father should be recognized. Happy Father's Day.
The role, if you're adding value, if you're supporting, if you're showing up, happy Father's Day.
I'm like, girl, fuck that shit. I don't give a fuck about none of that. I really don't, because at the end of the day, you knew what you were trying to do. You were trying to paint this narrative that, and mind you, I personally feel like Mia is using her kids as a storyline, because you are throwing up in the air that there's multiple, one of these men is your child's father. Instead of just saying Gordon is your child's father, you're saying that, oh, Ink might be the father. You haven't did no type of paternity test, you haven't did anything, but you're still going with this narrative that Ink might be your child's father, to basically try to secure another season off this stupid ass bullshit. And for me, is Mia, you can't say nobody else was using your kids as a storyline, or use your kids, because you and Gordon offer up all the information. Y'all are in cahoots, and y'all are giving all the information freely.
Because you say it all for us. We don't have to say anything negative. You do that for your own children. Mia.
To the public and to the cast members. So when you're just like, well, y'all are bringing up my kids. No, sweetie, you brought it up before we did. Trust. Or Gordon. So you brought up a situation with Giselle, and trust me, I am not a Giselle fan. But you cannot sit here and say that you did not bring up Giselle's kids to malign her, and malign her children too. I looked online as well. So basically, Giselle confirmed that Mia called her daughters whores. And I'm like, Mia. So, quote unquote, you're saying that her kids, let's say if this was true, I'm just saying, But they're saying that they begged the producers not to air this, da da da. That's why the producers didn't air it. Both parties, Mia and Giselle, did not want to be aired. Cool. But you're calling her kids whores because allegedly they brought guys back into the house, or you don't know what they did. They could have just played games. They could have just like, we don't know. I'm not going to sit up here and hold them to the fire when I know what people did, and I know what some of my friends did and my siblings have done when we were over here teenagers. Girl, not put my tea out there. But Mia, how the fuck are you going to sit over here and call her kids a whore, right? So if this was true, Mia, you calling them a whore, what are you?
I want to know that. Okay. I really want to know that.
If they're a whore, then what are you? Okay, let's go there. Like if her kids are whores, like you said,
If that's what you said,
then what are you?
You're a whore. You done slept with everybody. They don't want you. Your clit has left your body.
I'm not gonna go into Mia's resume. We can. we can. Trust me, we can go down the resume. I don't think I need to. So I feel like for Mia, I feel like she forgets where she has came from. And she feels like she's living this highfalutin life that she can just use this, you know.
Hi, I'm Mia Fortan.
All this, like, it's just like her and Karen, just like damn near peas in the pod. But it's just crazy to me that you're trying to justify why you did what you did. And like Ashley said, instead of you apologizing and saying, you know what, I was speaking out of anger, I was upset, you stood on it, and then you want to still, like, it's disrespecting her kids.
Instead of saying, oh, I spoke out of anger or I misspoke, I'm sorry, this is the time to at least say something remorseful. Have some contrition.
Like, she's like, you want to paint your kids in the light of so great, like they never did anything wrong. Bitch, obviously kids do stuff wrong, but why the fuck will we post some crazy shit online about your kids? The fuck? That's why I'll say Mia is a deranged. Let's just go there. Because she irritates me. Because like, why wouldn't you want to show the negative part? Why? So the internet can have some shit to talk about? Girl, half the internet hates Giselle's guts.
Okay, but you're doing a highlight reel too. Yeah, for sure. But I'm also not questioning you guys and your social media and what you're putting on there or not.
Wendy decides to chime in. She's like, you know what, Giselle, I find that funny because when I was back in, I think it was Puerto Rico, I think she said back last year when you thought I made a face at your kids with Candace, you over here gave me a visceral reaction. But this one talked about your children and nothing.
And Giselle, you bit my head off because you thought I was giving you a look when you were talking about your daughters.
She's like, well, we're friends, and she's like, me and Mia, we're friends, so that's why I can understand and da da. I'm like, Giselle, that is some load of shit. Fuck that. I don't give a fuck if you're my friend, or like Giselle said that Mia is her friend, or whatever they try to get through. Bitch, you shouldn't dare talk about my motherfucking kids ever. That's friendship ending. Because if I was a parent, my kids coming for anybody. If you talk about my kids, I would never speak to you again in life. The way that you should have treated, the way you treated Wendy is the way you should be treating Mia.
What I'm not going to do is compare the two of you because last year you and I were not speaking at all.
The line is always moving.
But now she's online talking about Mia to me, she's this, she's that. Cool, whatever. You figure out at the reunion. But I just find it funny. But I'm looking at Wendy, like, Wendy, what'd you expect? She's like, noted. What I noted. I'll see what happens. No, girl, what did you expect? Because Candace not here, and I don't want to pull that card. I really don't want to pull that card saying because Candace not here, Wendy feels like she has to befriend Giselle. I feel like Candace not come back this year, Wendy really would have been isolated to just being friends with Kiarna, who's new, Jazzy, Stacy, and Karen. But we already know how that's gonna pander out. I mean, I do. There's a little bit of tea. I'm not gonna really try to spill it, but I know that there's a shift that goes on between Wendy, Stacy, Karen towards the end of the season. But to each his own, neither here or there. Find it funny, and they end the episode there, and they're just like, you know what? I just gotta watch her because I can't believe this is the third.
The line is always moving.
I'm like, y'all is ridiculous. But y'all, let me know what you guys think. Do you think Giselle's gonna go back to her old ways and basically throw you know, throw Wendy to the side? And do you think Mia had a valid argument? And if you do think Mia had a valid argument,
Please comment below.
because I want to hear, because like I said, I don't know everything. I'm not always right, but I would like to hear your POV, because maybe you see something that I don't see. Maybe you think Mia is just an upstanding, law-abiding citizen who has never lied, who has never been in a strip club, who never, you know, all these things. I don't know. Let me know. Y'all, like, comment, subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Brian Keith, LG, Black Butte. Bet you didn't know we the Holy Trinity. Now let a God stop